Lynda Meikle here, your garden coach. And firstly, I want to wish you a happy new year. It's a fresh start, it's a new year. January is the time that we prepare our gardens, cleaning up, pruning back, getting ready for spring growth. Things that have to be pruned back, January is a great time to prune. And we have our tools here. I've got my long-handled loppers for the long, thick branches, and some really good, clean, sharp hand pruners are the two things that we need in order to cut back our garden. These abutilons tend to get long and leggy at the end of the season. There is always going to be some beautiful bloom on the end. You do have to sacrifice that. We're cutting back now in January. This should be nice and full by March and blooming again for the rest of the year. So I'm going to take this back quite drastically above a leaf bud. So that will be the new leaf coming out. And just keep doing that. You do a little bit at a time. To see the overall shape, you can go back and do more, but if you do too much, you can't undo it. So I'm just going to start cutting it back above these leaf nodes, and that's going to be where it's going to start filling out again in a few months. It'll be nice and dense. These abutilons really tend to like a good cutback once a year. They really respond well. They will really fill in. Don't be afraid to cut it back. All right, that's all I'm going to do right now. This is quite a good pruning back for the year. This is going to really help it come in for the spring growth and come in strong and lush. So that is enough for an abutilon. You can do a lot of other shrubs right now too. A lavatera is a good. I'm going to show you how to prune a rose now. When we prune roses, the idea is to keep an open vase shape. So we're going to prune anything with an outward facing bud that the new growth is going to go outward. Anything coming in, anything dead, disease that is coming in, we're going to prune it out. Good pair of sharpened hand shears and a long handled lopper and some gloves is all you need to do the job. We've had some exceptionally mild weather for this winter. The roses will keep blooming, so it's actually a good thing to prune it back in January and even pick off the foliage and almost forcing it into dormancy. It has to have a month and a half of really rest, and then it'll come back strong. So I'm going to prune this back to an outward facing bud, and anything going in and weak, I'm going to start pruning, and we'll take a little bit at a time. Anything that is broken, anything going inside, these little ones can come off. They're going to be coming too much inside. We take our loppers when we need to and really get in there. Might bring that down there. Picking off the small foliage, anything that's a little dried up. Borers can get into stubs that are left, so we don't want to keep many stubs. We want to make it a nice clean angle. So you pick an outward facing bud, you prune it almost like a 45-degree angle, and the water will run off it, so there won't be any buildup of water. Anything here that's like a little stub that's dried out and brown, insects like to get in there. We take that back as much as we can till we see clean wood. The same thing here. and then that will keep the insects away. Just keep it, and you keep going until you can't go back into it anymore. So that is all I'm going to do on this rose. This is a hybrid tea, but the same type of thing on all the roses. Cut them back to an outward facing bud, keeping it open for air circulation inside. Picking off most of anything diseased, throwing it away, don't compost it. You don't want to keep anything that's diseased. Cleaning up around the mulch around the bottom. You'll have a much better success in the roses for the rest of the year. Check out my new website, outervisionsdesign.com. I have a fresh new look for the year. You can sign up for the e-newsletters when you're on. Find the link and stay tuned for more tips. Lynda Meikle, your garden coach.